Hello. As we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, I want to share with you a story from my childhood. Many of you know that I was born in Jamaica. I grew up in the west coast city of Montego Bay. And as a child, I learned about Jamaican history. I learned about the island's involvement in the slave trade, British colonization, as well as our independence in 1962. I also learned about Jamaican National Heroes. These are individuals that have contributed greatly to society throughout the centuries and are individuals that are highly respected and revered in our community. So at the time, there were 5 national heroes. The first one was Marcus Mosiah Garvey, someone that you might know because of his activism here in the United States. Also, we had Paul Bogle, was a Baptist deacon who was very involved in a slavery uprising in Morant Bay. George William Gordon was a colored landowner who held a seat in the House of Parliament and used his political influence to alleviate the suffering of the people. Sir Alexander Bustamante, he founded the trade union, and he was actually the very first prime minister of post-independent Jamaica. And then the final one was Norman Manley, actually a cousin to Alexander Bustamante, and he founded the People's National Party, and he was the father of probably the most well-known prime minister in Jamaica's history, Michael Manley. Well, in around the 1980s, early 1980s, Jamaica conferred the honor of a national hero to 2 additional people, and one of them was a woman. We didn't know her name, her full name. We knew her only as Nanny of the Maroons. We didn't even actually know what she looked like. There was an artist's rendition of what Nanny may have looked like. She was born sometime in the late 1700s in Ghana, and she was transported to Jamaica on a slave ship. Shortly after she arrived in Jamaica, she escaped from the slavery plantation along with several other slaves from her region. And as a group led by Nanny, they maintained a lifestyle in the mountains of Jamaica, fighting off the incursions of the British, fighting off plantation owners, and the reason for their ability to maintain this independent lifestyle was Nanny's leadership. She was a strong leader. She was a militant leader. She was one who had great influence. Many stories are told about how she managed to control this region and to rebuff the British advances every time they tried to make their way into that part of the country. And as a result, Nanny has been revered in our country. So what is important out of this story for me is the fact that at some point in my early life, I discovered that there was a woman in our history that had a significant impact on our country. And it's important to realize the impact that that has on young girls and young women, to be able to see someone else who looks like them, who has similar circumstances maybe, who has done great things, who is respected, who is honored by the community. An entire generation of young girls in Jamaica had their eyes opened to the impact and the influence that we can have as women.